Hi, Jeremy here, Modern Vitality. In today's video, we're going to be discussing how to calm down your monkey mind. Now, I work with a lot of folks with complex chronic health conditions: fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, Lyme disease, mold exposure, long haulers, anything autoimmune, chronic fatigue syndrome. There's a ton of these conditions. One of the things I've noticed is that a lot of folks coming through feel like they have a bit of ADD or brain fog or both, right? Trouble focusing, kind of trouble. And they always say, it's my monkey mind. Right? And we have this lovely term, which comes from meditation and Zen and all these kind of practices about the monkey mind and how the monkey mind wants to jump around and think about all these things. And it's really difficult because when that happens, you almost feel like a part of your personality isn't under your control. You feel like you're just getting jerked around and you can't focus on something. And we know that focus and attention are some of the highest powers that we have as human beings. The ability to focus on something is the ability to start to really connect. Right? And when we have the monkey mind, we start to lose that. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you not only how to do this, right? How to calm down your monkey mind, but also the frameworks, what you have to understand in order to be able to really do it. And then how we can take those understandings and use that to solve all kinds of problems. So in harnessing your monkey mind, you can really break free on a lot of levels. All right, let's get started. So this is something that comes up within our chat group a fair amount. People coming in asking questions about focusing and ADD and the monkey mind and all that. And I would offer you that typically there's like 3 ways to approach this monkey mind. And you can experience your monkey mind by meditating, by honestly sitting down and literally trying to meditate, right? Where you're just putting yourself in this situation where you're doing nothing and just closing your eyes and, okay, let's see where my thoughts go, right? There's that. But there's also the monkey mind just during day-to-day life. When you're not even trying to meditate, you're just trying to exist. You're trying to listen to somebody and actually pay attention while they give you directions, right? You say, oh, where is it? You take a left and then what? Oh, sorry, squirrel, right? My monkey mind is taking over. Okay, so this happens everywhere. It's not just when you're sitting on a special cushion and trying to like achieve enlightenment or whatever. So you don't have to be a meditator to even make use of this. But typically, there's a couple ways to handle this. And one of them is the more strict way. So the idea is you take your monkey and you just like put it in a cage, right? So you're constantly kind of fighting and controlling the monkey mind. And the idea here is that with enough practice, you'll build up very strong mental muscles so that when the monkey mind wants to wander and jump around and you want to think all these wild things that are unrelated and tangential, your brain, like a muscle, will become so strong that it can just grab that monkey and just hold its little head and point it at one thing, right? And you can like will yourself to focus. Okay, admirable. Some people can achieve this. I'm not one of them, to be honest with you. Most people aren't. This is the kind of thing where you have to understand the difference. Like willpower is not very long lasting for most people. We run out of willpower. It's like starting a fire. If you ever start a fire with, you have some newspaper, like a campfire, right? You have some newspaper and some kindling. The willpower is kind of like the newspaper. Like it can get going at first, but it's hard to sustain that, right? Because if you ever tried to start any kind of new habit, your willpower wears off after a while. It usually doesn't take long for most people. Willpower is very expensive to maintain in terms of our energetic output, right? It's just not a long-term thing, right? Discipline, on the other hand, is a little bit different. And structure and having systems, those are different things than having willpower, right? Willpower is there's always a little bit of fight there going on. So you need to understand the difference between willpower and discipline, right? That's a big deal. And also your intention and what's your incentive, right? Because for example, if your incentives are lined up, then usually willpower is no problem, right? If you've got the right incentives and it's something you enjoy doing, you don't have to summon the willpower to do it, right? But anyway, when we try to cage that monkey, that's a big toll on willpower. And you have to keep drawing from your willpower reserves to keep beating that monkey down. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to sit and meditate, every time you start to think of whatever thing, you just grab that brain of yours, that attention, and you just yoke it back, right? And you oppose any kind of thought coming in, right? Pretty interesting. Now, another way too, besides fighting this monkey, right, and engaging with it in that way, is to kind of try to avoid it, right? Try to avoid the monkey, right? Which is also interesting because now you've got this whole idea of the thoughts come in like clouds, right? Okay, I have a stray thought. Oh, it's just a cloud and it's going to blow away. And then another one and then it's going to blow away, right? And then it's going to blow away. Well, you can try to ignore it all you want. and it's still going to happen. And eventually, if you get good enough at ignoring the monkey mind, then yes, these thoughts will start to become less prevalent on your mental landscape. But again, it takes a lot of time. It really does. So those are our two main parameters here. We've got kind of just like a stress response. We've got fight it, right? Use the willpower and take the monkey and put it in a cage. And then we've got flight or flee, right? Where you instead of fighting it, right? You're kind of like running away. You're going, oh, okay, the monkey mind's over there. I'm going to just be over here, right? And I'll try to like wait for it to go past, right? It's a little bit of flight, a little bit of freeze kind of mentality. Both of these are stress responses, by the way, right? Fight, flight. They're both stress responses. These aren't fun interactions to have with our own self. So what I would offer you is a third way to handle your monkey mind, to calm your monkey mind down, okay? And it requires a whole different outlook on everything. And once you can practice this, then you can do this with your monkey mind. You can start to do it everywhere. Because what I'm going to tell you is your monkey mind is you. It's part of you. So if you are fighting the monkey mind, you're fighting a part of yourself. Now you've created division inside because you've taken a part of yourself, you've judged it as something you don't like. Now you've got an internal schism. You've got an internal gap. You're becoming disassociated from your own self, right? And if you want to fight it and corral it, that's how you're handling that, right? Or, oh, I got this monkey mind. I don't like it. I want to watch it blow by in the breeze. I'm going to just like hide over here and try to get away from it. Again, it's you. It's a part of you. It doesn't define you entirely, but it's a part of you. So when we handle this division, the first thing to do is actually zoom out and go, how do I handle this division? No, zoom out. Stop dividing yourself, right? Stop fighting your monkey mind, okay? Stop fighting it. Stop running from it. Instead, what if we play with it, right? What if we invite it? What if we say, hey, you're valuable too, monkey mind, right? You're not something to be squashed or to be ignored. There may be something to you. What's going on, right? Why are we thinking about all these things? This is a whole different deal. Now, one of the things you can do to play with the monkey mind, right, without getting too cerebral here, but if you have your monkey, I know it's like I'm talking about a monkey, like a cartoon monkey jumping around, right? But you can feel it. Once you feel it, you know what you got going on because you know that your mind's kind of jumping around a little bit. And you can treat your mind, instead of treating it as a failure or some bad thing, just acknowledge it for what it is and say, oh, this is what's going on with you right now. You're being a monkey. What do you want, right? And sometimes the monkey wants to play, and you can give it games to do. You can give it things to think about, right? You can give it things to focus on without it being this willpower battle, right? So even something kind of simple sounding like counting your breaths, you give the monkey something to do. We're going to count, right? This is the idea here, is throw the monkey a banana, right? That's the idea. You want to catch the monkey and trap it, or you want to like send it away. No, just feed it. Give it a banana. It's okay. Like give it what it wants. You know, it wants something to focus on. That's a faculty you have inside. You want something to pay attention to. So let's give yourself something to pay attention to. You can do counting breaths. You can do visualizations, right? This is why these kind of meditative practices like Qigong are so great, because once you start to develop that internal eye, your monkey mind loves it, because your monkey mind can start exploring and go, yeah, what does my inside of my rib cage feel like? Ooh, I haven't seen that before. The monkey's curious. It wants to explore. You give it new things. Right? Moving meditation is sometimes some of the best, like Tai Chi or Qigong. You're giving your monkey mind, like, okay, I'm going to just pay attention to what's the inside of my wrist joint feel like while I move my hand a little bit. I'm going to go kind of slow. And my monkey mind is like, hey, that's a new sensation. I like novelty. I like paying attention to things, right? And then all of a sudden something happens. It starts to calm down on its own. You didn't have to fight it. You didn't have to kick it out. You feed it, give it a banana. It's just hungry, right? Like most things in life can be solved with a little bit of love and attention, right? That's the idea. So take your monkey mind, play with it, give it a banana. Now, if you can't get into tactile sensations, because that's one really good way to do this. And sometimes you need to do like self-massage. You need to squeeze your fingers, right? And draw your attention, go, okay, well, this is like what I'm doing right now. That's it. I'm just squeezing my fingers. And my monkey mind is in my fingers, because they're very sensitive, right? And I can start to get, which is cool, because now you're doing some massage and you're actually stimulating acupressure points and you're getting more blood flow to your hands, right? And now after I've done this, I feel my fingers and all that feel very strong, and I'm like ready for Qigong practice if I wanted to, It's a good way to start activating things. And also, it's giving your monkey mind something to play with. You're going, okay, monkey, come on down here. Come on down to the fingers. You know what else we'll do, monkey? So we're going to do this. I'm going to take my finger webs and I'm going to start to massage them into each other like this. And I can feel that, right? Oh, I'm going to do it here on my thumbs. I'm going to rub my hands together, right? And you start getting all these sensations. And it's the same way that people who are really good at engaging with children, right? And kind of keeping the interactions moving, but always interesting and dynamic, and engaging curiosity and non-judgment, right? That monkey mind in you, it's part of your inner child mind. How you treat that monkey mind is how you're treating yourself. Oh, no, you sit down, you focus. Oh, go away, you're distracting, I don't like you. Like, no, let's take a minute. What is it? What do you want? Let's squeeze our fingers. Let's count our breaths. Let's play a game, right? Feed the monkey, give it a banana. You may notice your relationship with yourself softens instantly once you take on this attitude and this approach. How would that translate to other areas of your life? For example, healing, right? Looking at your body like it's failing. How come I'm not getting better? I've got all this fatigue. Something's wrong with me. I'm bad. I've tried this. I've tried that. I've been to 10 different practitioners. I've taken all these supplements, right? I've failed. No, you're trying, right? You're resilient. You've tried again. You're the kind of person who keeps getting up. We're not going to see ourselves with such a harsh level of judgment. We're going to see ourselves, actually, we're going to align and go, wow, there's some really interesting qualities I have here I've been demonstrating. Resilience, strength, right? Never giving up, wanting to get better, being inspired, internal motivation. Cultivating compassion for yourself goes a long way besides calming down your monkey mind, right? Now, another way you can do this too is sit with the monkey. And especially if you're having a hard time, as I mentioned earlier, if you're having a hard time getting tactical sensation to do it, sometimes you're just not in your body enough and you need to do more practices like that, even like stomping your feet, which is really an interesting thing to think about. But just stomping your feet and getting some tactile sensation there, start connecting your brain to your feet, get in your body. But even outside of that, sometimes it is just mental chatter. And it's like, okay, let's take a hint here. Why is my mind going all over the place? Well, your mind is looking to make patterns. Your mind is always interested in novelty and new things, and then coming back to something it already knows and creating new links, new connections. This is how we learn. This is how we're wired. We now have an environment where we're exposed to the internet, all kinds of information. There's novelty everywhere. Our monkey mind wants to scroll because all the novelty is like, oh, maybe I can link this back to something. Maybe I'm getting smarter, right? I'm learning. I'm being entertained. I'm also learning, right? It wants that. We don't have to scroll all day long, right? Of course, but you can also sit with your mind and go, okay, what am I thinking about? And if you find yourself going on this little journey of tangents, don't judge yourself. I'm all over the place. No, you're trying to map a terrain. You're trying to find connections between these things you're thinking about. Maybe this is a good chance to do a different type of meditation where you sit with that. You let your mind wander and you just enjoy that ride, right? You just go run around with the monkey. You let the monkey take you somewhere and show you something maybe new for you. Maybe you'll discover that you actually like some of the territory the monkey's taken you. Maybe it's fun. Maybe this whole construct of I have to control my mind all the time. Maybe that's something we invented. Maybe that's a relic of when people needed to be able to sit in a factory job, right? Which nothing wrong with people that work in factories, but that used to be the major thing with the Industrial Revolution. Everybody was kind of geared up to go sit and just do one thing over and over again, right? But that's not how we're necessarily built mentally. We're built for diversity and having different kinds of things happen. We're not built for repetitive strain. That's why repetitive strain gives us injuries. We're not built to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over all the time, right? We're built for dynamic movements with variability, and our minds are the same way. So where this gets to be a little bit of a growth point is when you feel like you have no control. There's no balance. It's all monkey mind. My focus is just shot. I can't sit down and think. I understand, right? I've been there myself. One of the best things to do is not start judging it. Try not to see it as a problem. Don't make a big deal out of it. And at the same time, maybe, right, if you've already tried willpower and kind of forcing yourself to do this, right, then maybe you should spend a little time exploring. Just go, okay, I'm going to focus on my stuff, but first I'm going to take a literal 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I'm going to set a timer and I'm just going to let my mind wander. And maybe you're going to doodle while you do that. Maybe you're going to write yourself little notes. This isn't sitting on a meditation cushion on the top of a mountain and right? It doesn't have to be that stuffy. This can be a form of meditation. It's just letting your mind wander around and just get its yayas out so that you can actually give the monkey a chance to play and tire it out. Give it a banana right afterwards. Hey, good job. Let's do a little bit of this. Get centered. And now it's time to actually focus, right? You may notice that that changes a lot of your experience with your mind, and you may not. Okay, we all have a little bit unique angles on things, but if nothing else, taking the approach that, hey, there's nothing wrong with me, this is a part of me, and by creating a division that actually creates division inside of me, right? If you understand that and you can move through that, you're going to be so much better equipped for all the other challenges you have. If you're struggling with a complex chronic health condition, don't do it alone. Join our group. It's free to join. The link's in the description. I'm in there every single day giving people my perspective on their health. So you can ask me anything you want in there and I'll share as much as I possibly can. We've got a great group of people, very cozy. We've got a vault full of interactive videos. Again, it's free to join. Come on in there. The application's in the description. If I see it and it looks really good, like you're going to be a great fit for our group, I'll get you in as soon as I can. It might be a month, might be 2 months even. Sometimes we fill up. So just please be patient and know that I'm working on it to get you in. I try to give everybody a fair chance. All right. I hope this video helps you. Let's get you feeling better. Cheers.